So, we're going to be talking about really the fundamental thing that is causing the loss of human freedom. And as sad as it is to make this statement, here's as simple as it gets. Human freedom is being destroyed and lost at the rate that it is being destroyed and lost at for one basic overarching reason. Human beings, unfortunately, have come to a point in their consciousness where most of them no longer know the difference between right and wrong. That's it, folks. That's it. If you want to know why the events that are happening, that is the causal factor right there. They do not know, not believe or think or just have an opinion about. They do not definitively know the difference between right and wrong. And there is such a thing. And I want to make a real hard, definitive statement here. Any spiritual teacher that is not telling people that there is a definitive, objective difference between right and wrong is a fraud or a deceiver. They are a fraud or a deceiver. Okay? Or both. Or sadly, they're a useful dupe who really doesn't know the difference themselves and is trying to make a buck. Okay? So let me be as plain and as clear about that as I can. The people who are telling anybody out there that there's no such thing as really a difference between right and wrong, and oh, this is just further polarizing people, and when we make it about right or wrong, we're adding to the problem. Wrong. There is such a thing as right and wrong. There is such a thing as objective morality. Okay? It is based in natural law principles. And when we started this show 78 weeks ago, one of the first things I talked about was the ideology known as moral relativism, which is destroying the people of the earth. When I then went into all of the methodologies of mind control and helped people to understand that it is dark occultists who propagate all of these mind control methodologies, and what their ultimate religion is all based upon is moral relativism on the shows that I did on Satanism and dark Luciferianism. This is their foundational ideology, that there really isn't any such thing as right or wrong. It's all relative. It's all based on what we think, our preferences, based on the current situation at the time. And if you believe that, you are under mind control put there by dark occultists. If you believe that there is no such thing as objective right and wrong, you are under mind control. And that is the problem. That so many people actually believe in moral relativism. That's the problem with the people of Earth. And that's why the people of Earth are going into deep slavery. And I'm choosing my words very deliberately. Okay? And people will not like to hear this. They will rebel against this in whatever way they can, because they want to abdicate personal responsibility to know the difference between right and wrong, and then to choose the right. They don't want that responsibility. They want to claim ignorance. I didn't know. I didn't know as I was hoarding people into work camps that was the wrong thing to do. I thought it was fine. I didn't know as I was signing off on all of these bad loans. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was basically taking away these people's rights to speak and make their opinion, voice their concerns and opinions, that I silenced them. I didn't know that was wrong. I was just doing what I was told. I was just following orders. I was just doing my job. How long are we going to let this fly as an excuse, as a people? We heard that at Nuremberg. The Russian secret police that worked under Stalin claimed that. It's just a job. I wanted to keep working so I could feed my family. The Schutzstaffel who ran concentration camps were saying that. Well, our government was telling us it was okay. People behind all of these loan frauds and all of the rape of the economy are saying, oh, but my superiors are just telling me to do that. It's okay. That's company policy. And then they just do it because it's just pass the buck down the line. Just abdicate your own responsibility to know the truth, to know right versus wrong, and then choose right. They're trying to say, oh, no, we don't have that responsibility. That's someone else. I'm just a foot soldier. I'm just a person pushing a pencil, or I'm just a person carrying out the actions that my owner tells me to do. And we think that's acceptable, that that's okay for somebody to just continue to abdicate that personal responsibility and say, well, they're the ones actually doing these things, that they're not responsible for doing them. Nonsense. Bunk is what I say to that. And that's what you should say to that if you have any understanding about the real dynamic that's taking place here. You should call people on that. You should call their BS on that, because that's exactly what it is. And it shouldn't fly in any kind of a moral society for someone to make claims like that they're not the ones responsible, even though they're the ones actually doing the action. Well, someone else told me it was okay. Think about this, folks. This is as common sense as it gets. See, because that's ultimately what we're talking about here today, is common sense. That's a key phrase that's going to be coming up. So that's the dynamic. People really don't know the difference between right and wrong. They don't know what their rights are, and they don't know what their rights are not. And I told you when I started the section on natural law, I told you two things. And remember my words. This is the most deeply occulted information on the earth. And it's some of the most basic. But it is the most deeply hidden truth. You're never going to hear anybody talking about this on television. You won't hear this on the nightly news, okay? You won't even hear it amongst some of the top alternative media. This is the most occulted information in the world. This is the information that the dark occultists who are running the show know and are using against people as a weapon, and ultimately are trying to get people not to ever look at. This is what they want hidden from your sight, which is what the word occult means. Hidden from sight. Okay, another form of mind control is trying to make one word associated with something that it's not really associated with at all. And one of the best forms of mind control is associating the word occult with evil, because it means no such thing. It means hidden, because it is hidden knowledge about objective morality and the workings of natural law, which if you do not understand, you can only create chaos. You can never create a world that you want, truly, in which you live and are free from self-imposed suffering. We're doing this to ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. No one else is doing this to us. In our ignorance of morality and natural law, we are creating this heinous, hideous situation of the loss of freedom and the slow spiraling descent into servitude. We're doing it. And it's being directed by clever people who know how these laws work and have subsequently hidden that knowledge and taken it out of general circulation. So we're going to talk about right and wrong and really get down to the true differences between these ways of being in the world. You're listening to What on Earth is Happening. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.